Good evening, I'm Sarah. Welcome to the studio. We're going to do some more on this, the truck. I was sort of looking and thinking about this over the past couple of days, and what I'm going to do is some of the things I'm going to mount. So the light cluster, for example, we mount it but leave the glass lenses off. The things like the side skirts, we'll mount the side skirts, but they need painting, so they will come off at some point. And basically we'll just carry on from there. I think at some point he then starts to talk about mounting the remote controls. Well, probably not going to do that either at this point in time, but we will sort of probably progress to the mounting of the tyres. So without further ado, we shall get on with it. So the next thing is the lighting clusters, and they're going to be in here because I remember seeing them. And I have just realised I've got the wrong glasses on. So that's one of the lighting clusters. That is something else. That's the other bit of the lighting clusters. Interesting. I know what that is. I'm just wondering why it's here. I mean, sometimes they put things in a pack. That is one of the mounting brackets for the fifth wheel. Well, I'm reasonably convinced it's one of the mounting brackets for the fifth wheel. Obviously, it's not used on this one. Maybe it's a standard pack that they use for lots of vehicles. And so they just include it because it's cheaper to do that than it is to make up separate packs for separate vehicles. Have, lots of different inventories. I'm just going to get my other glasses. I shall be back in a moment. I'm back. You can see with those glasses okay, but these are better for closer work. Oh, that's a lot better. So let me get out this other light cluster. They're actually labelled right and left, which is convenient. Okay, spare spring in there, so I'll keep hold of that. Put that back into there. So I'm going to need some plastic parts and some screws for this. So BB3 and BB5, which is sort of convenient. So they are in, that's BC, that's BA. So they're in here, some silver and silver ones. Now I suspect, if I look on the back of here, the BB5 are 2x8mm, which is the smaller of them if they're in there, and then the BB3 are the 2x5mm, which are with a round dome top, so that's the smaller ones of those. Okay, and I need 4 of each. Okay, the larger ones are black, so the real large ones that I don't want are black, so it's easier to tell these apart. That's 2. That's 3 in one of those. Okay, so that's those 4, and I want one more of them. So that should be 4 of each. Okay. Put them in the right bag, otherwise I'll be totally confused. Now what I'm also going to need out is the mud guards, or the mud flaps, which are these here. They're rubber, flexible. And then I need some plastic parts from Tree R, which I don't think I've got out, so I'm convinced that's not the right one. Although I will need that one in a moment. And I'll need that shortly. Which suggests they're on this tree, which looks like it. Where's the letter? There we go. So it is this one. I shall just pull the staples out so that I don't scratch myself with the things. One one interesting piece of news for the stream is that I am now looking into my glassworking course. It looks like I've been able to find a course a little bit far away from me, but you don't have a lot of choice these days. But I'm hoping within the next month or so perhaps to be able to do my glassworking course. Now this is number 10, which makes it the one for the right hand, well, that side. So as I've mentioned before, the intent is to do a short course, like a taster type course, just to check whether or not I actually do like glasswork, because there's no way I want to spend the pennies to set up a glassworking studio if I don't like it. That would be a serious waste of cash. These are rather scuffed. And not for me doing that, so these may be a candidate for getting painted, perhaps painted black. Looks like they've perhaps been damaged in the mould, or coming out of the mould. Yeah. Don't quite know why. Every other part looks fine. It's just those. But just say we can always paint them afterwards. That's not really a problem. So now what I need to do is identify that I've got the right ones. This is a left-hand one, matching it to there. It says L for left on it. So what I need out now is the mudguard. and another staple. Well, I don't need the staple, but we'll get rid of it along with this bit of plastic. There we go. Right, 2 rubber mud flaps. Quite nice, really. So that is going to be fastened in place with this. Now then, this can go one of 2 ways. I'm lining it up like that, which tells me it's going that way, but I was looking at the diagram. This big hole is not centered, it's offset. So I am just looking at where that was going to be. If I had it the other way around, then it wouldn't be centered and pattern. Yeah. So it's going to go like that. And this mud flap, there's no there's a surround on this, and which is not on the bottom, which means that sort of goes in and lays flat. It doesn't, there's no bump in there. Now metal on metal, which means a little tiny amount of thread lock. You're not going to come out now. There we go. Very gentle squeezing. And while I've got it out, I might as well put some in here as well. Okay, so that will then go in there like that, and some of these little tiny BB3 screws go straight through there, and I bet my screwdriver, I was about to say my screwdriver doesn't fit, this one might. Yeah, it does. So before I tighten it up, I'm going to make sure I can get the other screw through. There we go. Thread locks come through. Alright. Next thing we do then is we put the lamp bucket, again getting it the right way round. I don't think that's the right one. Oh yes I do. Changed my mind. So quite literally, I was kind of expecting this to go over there like that, in order for the you know, to sort of sit there. It doesn't. It actually does go up here, and yes, I have got it the right way around, because I'm now looking at the diagram, and these lower holes are on the bottom when it's held this way, so they go through like that, and have 2 of these longer screws then. Yeah, 2 of these longer screws then. That will go through there and into the plastic here, so no thread lock this time. It's right, but it kind of doesn't really look like that. Yeah, the glass lenses would need to be stuck on. I don't intend to do that just now. As I mentioned before, the The reason I don't intend to do it is because at some point I will mount a lighting kit, and what I want to be able to do is to potentially be able to sort of get in there, and I would quite like to mount a reversing light, which is probably or possibly this cluster here, and there's no hole for that, so I'd have to drill a hole, and I might damage the lens and all sorts of things. But looks like there'll be an LED goes through there and one goes through there. I don't know quite which way around they would be. Probably this is an indicator, this is a stop and tail light. Although looking at these, yeah, possibly. I'm just trying to work out what they would be. There's two colours go on here. Does it tell me what the colours are going to be? A clear red and a clear orange. So the 27 is a clear orange, so that's the indicator in the centre, and this then clear red would be potentially stop and tail light. This end here would have a reversing light and probably the fog light in it as well, if you actually coloured them properly. I don't think they, I'm fairly sure the glass lenses are uncoloured at all. By the way, what you do is ideally paint them on the back, not the front. That way they're protected, so they don't get scratched or anything like that. But it also makes it look a lot better, or look a lot more like a coloured lens than if you paint on the front. If you look at an orange indicator light on a car, the orange is on the inside, or it's an orange, the whole lens is orange coloured, it's sort of orange plastic. Right, so now do the same thing again on this side here. So we'll mount the mud flap to this metal carrier. With the small screws that I got out. Yeah, so in terms of the glasswork course, it now becomes a just deciding when to go ahead and do it. I do need to take a day off work to be able to do it, so it's not a, it will also depend on when I have time available at work as well, but we'll get onto that at some point. I'll let you know when I'm going to be doing that course. Not that you're going to see or there's going to be any immediate results from it, other than I'll perhaps decide that I do like it or I don't like it. And actually, since I will potentially be getting to make some things on there on the course, I will be able to I won't be able to bring them home, not on the day, because they require to be annealed, which takes a few hours after the end of the course, so they'll have to be posted to me, so that'll be 2 or 3 days later before they arrive. But whether I decide I'm going to go ahead or not, you'll get to see what I tried to make anyway. I'll say tried to make, on account of I probably won't succeed very well. Okay, next thing now is to mount them. I'm not going to put the stickers on again. Stickers, the Volvo ones in this particular case, can go on afterwards.